You know that feeling, that nagging need for someone else's approval? That sense that your worth is somehow tangled up in how other people see you? It's a fundamental human thing, this battle between looking for validation out there versus finding real contentment in here. So that's what we're going to unpack today, how to find our true selves. Here's the journey we're going to go on. First, we'll talk about the validation trap, what it is, and how we all fall into it. Then, we'll explore the two ways of being that really shape our experience of the world. After that, we're going to completely redefine what it means to be alone. Then, we'll get practical with finding your true self. And finally, it all comes down to a fundamental choice that you have to make. So let's jump right in with section 1, the validation trap. This is all about that constant search for approval from the world around us. And it really all boils down to this one question. I want you to really think about it for a second. Are you living your life based on the image that other people have of you, or are you living it based on how you actually feel deep down inside? It's a subtle difference, but it is everything. And this is where we hit a major conflict, right? On one side, you've got the image, what we think other people see. And on the other, you've got the feeling, how we actually are when we're just with ourselves. We get so caught up trying to perfect that image, thinking that if we can just get everyone to see us a certain way, then we'll finally feel good. But that's a hamster wheel you can never get off of. And here's the kicker. The approval you're so desperately looking for, no one else can give it to you. Not really. That deep sense of being okay has to come from inside. The real goal is what you could call self-standing, that unshakable feeling of being secure in who you are, no matter what anyone else thinks. Okay, so if the approval has to come from within, how in the world do we actually get there? Well, it all starts with understanding that there are two totally different ways we can operate, either from the outside in or the inside out. So let's break this down. Most of us, most of the time, are living from our ego and intellect. Think of this as your brain's social manager. Its entire job is based on the external world. It's constantly in a mode of reaction and comparison. How do I stack up? What do they think of me? And the result? Total instability. Your mood and self-worth are on a roller coaster. The other way to live is from the mind. This is your deep internal core. It's not based on anything external. Its mode isn't comparison, it's just being. And because of that, the natural result is a deep sense of stability. It's such a simple idea, but it's incredibly profound. When we're stuck in that ego-driven comparison world, we're trying to live up to everyone else's standards. But that's a race you can't win because, well, everyone else isn't you. Only you are you. It's impossible to live your life through someone else's feelings about you. And this brings us right to the heart of the matter in our third section, alone is not lonely. It's time we completely reframe how we think about being by ourselves. Okay, this is a huge distinction we have to make. We use these words interchangeably, but they are worlds apart. Loneliness is a state that's based on another person. It's that feeling of lack, of needing someone else on the outside to validate you. But being alone, that's an internal state of being. It's about being fully, completely, and happily with yourself. It's a connection that doesn't depend on anyone else. And that leads to this beautiful central idea. When you are truly connected to your inner self, that stable, calm place we're calling the mind, it is literally impossible to be lonely. Sure, you can be by yourself, you can be physically alone, but that aching, hollow feeling of loneliness, it just can't exist there. See, it flips the whole script. The cure for loneliness isn't about finding another person. The real cure is about finding yourself. When you genuinely feel good about who you are from the inside out, the whole problem of loneliness just dissolves. It's not even a thing anymore. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? Let's get practical. Section 4 is all about the path to making this internal connection and really finding your true self. It really comes down to a 3-step process. First, you have to learn to connect with your mind, to find that quiet, stable place inside you. Step 2, once you're in that place, you can start to clearly identify your fears, especially the ones tied to what other people think. And then, the third step is learning to detach from them, to see them, acknowledge them, but not let them run your life. And listen, this part is so important. We spend so much of our lives hoping someone else will come along and save us from our own insecurities. A partner, a friend, a boss. But this is an inside job. Nobody in the outside world can take away your fears. Only you can do that work. So why is this work so critical? because it's what growth is all about. If we're not evolving, if we're not learning to live from our true selves, we're not growing. And when that's not happening, we feel stagnant, we feel stuck. And that feeling of being stuck is one of the biggest sources of fear and unhappiness there is. So all of this brings us to our final section. When you put it all together, it really comes down to one fundamental choice that we each face every single day. And it is this simple. The choice is to either default or detach. So what does that actually mean? Well, to default to the world is the easy path. It's just letting your ego and intellect run the show, living in that constant state of reacting and comparing and chasing that next hit of external approval. The other choice is to detach into yourself. This is the active choice. It's deciding to connect with your mind and live from that deep, stable, internal place of who you truly are.
And so that's the question I want to leave you with. In every moment of your day, you have this choice. Will you default to the noise, to the chaos of the outside world and what everyone else thinks? Or will you do the work to detach, to turn inward, and to live from the quiet, powerful stability of your true self? The choice is always yours.